Okay, so when we left off, we added some characters, added some props. We talked about the landscape, and I showed you, or there's a tutorial on how to do that. We added some UI, which I deleted, but I'm gonna bring that back and start making it more deliberate rather than using planes. I might start to create some 3D assets that work as my user interface. But just to get a better sense of what I actually want to build, I went ahead and made a series of sketches that start to show us or show me what I want the intent of my scene to start to be relating back to the narrative and just really focusing on what the user is going to see when they start entering the space. So I'm thinking of having the player start at a position like this and at an angle like this so that they get an immediate sense. So like I'm trying to fill a certain percentage of the screen and starting to frame what the player is actually going to see with all of the key elements that I want to have. So they'll get a sense of the background and the brewless wall. They'll see the guards in the tower and sort of um, the the restricted access this begins to imply, including the chain link fences. I have my totem here, and I might actually recreate the actual totem as like a little kiosk in front of these machines, and I'll just duplicate that on the other one. And then maybe by pushing the little red button, the UI starts to appear, right? And then here to just sort of block off the left, I might add like some sort of war vehicle just to have some additional visual interest. It might not actually be this close to the character, but basically to the left of the character is where I'm going to hopefully place it. And then I did some other sketches to start to populate the scene a little bit. I'm not so sure I'm gonna do exactly what this is, but it just gives me something to work with or a set of objectives. And then if I like it, I can keep it. If I don't, I don't. So like this boat, I think I'm gonna move closer because I might as well make it bigger since it's there. And looking to the right of my scene, I'm going to, so I think I already have like a little pipe that I added. I'm just gonna make that much bigger and I'm gonna like toss some graffiti on it. And then I'll probably continue this chain link fence and just fence off that area. And so just really kind of hemming in the position of the character so that there's really only one direction to go. So I might throw in some of these hedgehogs around here. And then on top of my citadel walls, I'm gonna start adding some lush vegetation, so it starts to feel like, okay, inside of this thing is paradise, and outside of it is sort of this desert-ish fortification. And then up here, I don't know if I'm gonna do this or not, but maybe some anti-aircraft kind of like weapons or something like that, just to imply or reinforce the defensiveness of this structure. And then as the character moves towards this entry, I'm going to start adding more chain link fences, maybe like a door in and out. If you are granted access through this kiosk, then you're allowed to go through, and the guards will let you through. And just add a series of bollards and add some more barbed wire just to sort of turn this into an actual high security type crossing. But while I'm here, I want to be able to see into this little like gateway into the school where I'm referring to the Battle of Algiers, Casbah stairs, right? So I need to model this, but I'm gonna just do something fairly basic, but just to really begin to imply the extents of what's going on inside. And so, I wrote some notes here. There's like a double gate. the Casbah stairs, and it's going to be so vast that I might even start throwing in some fog so that as the stairs ascend further and further, it might start to look a little bit foggier and foggier, right? And again, more defensive fortifications. I'm almost inspired also by the U.S. Mexico border as well for some of these things. Just like when vehicles cross, you kind of have to go through this maze, and so adding like these concrete barriers, I might throw in some ballers and things like that, just so it starts to refer to elements that I'm finding in real life. And I might look for some reference images for that as well. Once I cross over, I'm gonna maybe add some more vehicles along this road, really more to block off the scene, right? I can see the Casbah wall, or Casbah, the Citadel walls beyond, and I'm not totally liking how that looks, so I might block that off with some other war vehicle. Again, you'll start to see the lush vegetation over the wall. I might start showing some like battle damage or something like that. Like this citadel has, is not pristine, but has undergone some attacks, and then throwing graffiti and things like that along this wall. And then I might start to look for some student characters that are walking along the sidewalk on the sort of safe side of things. And then over here, I might incorporate some signage that sort of points to other departments down the way, referring to some of those weird futuristic departments I made up. Like I think one was like neuroeconomics or something along those lines. And then I might have like drones flying overhead just to kind of and with laser scanners with just just to reinforce this idea of surveillance and protection. I don't know that I'll get to all of this. This is just like a wish list, by the way. So have ambition, but prioritize these things. They're easier than you would think to make them, but at the same time, we should be realistic about what we're doing. And so here, this is the view back towards the beach. Remember, I talked about the weird uh, climate change, green, what do they call it? Greenwashing of these oil riggers. So like, let's go back to the PureF board, like these guys, right? And what I might just do with this is literally clip the images of these in Photoshop and start arraying them out into the ocean there. So all you're seeing are these 2D images. They'll probably be kind of fogged over. So it kind of like sits in the scene a little bit better. Like I said, I'm gonna change this water because I'm using the Unreal Engine water, but it's a little bit more. Um, it's more computation than I really need, so I'll probably swap this out with a much more basic um, um, water. And then in the sky, I might throw in like either hot air balloons or some jets flying by or something like that. And again, all of this is going to incorporate some sound as well, just so that the player really starts to feel immersed, where they're hearing, say, the ocean, and they're hearing like the sounds of like jets off in the distance. Um, and hopefully that starts to evoke this sense of like desolation and like sort of disturbing sounds of maybe chatter from walkie-talkies, the buzzing of drones and jets to really imply like this kind of machine state that we're in. Okay, so these again are just objectives. Here I wrote cracks for the road, where I'll look for decals and things like that to place. Those are relatively easy. Those are also relatively cosmetic, so I might save those for later. But really, this is just kind of a wish list of things that I want to do, and that I'll start to go over and show you guys how to do, so that you can begin to implement some of these things into your own scenes. Okay?